Hey guys, Theron Asbury here with Revital Outdoors, bringing you another exciting podcast. Tonight we have Mr. Chip Hawkins. Chip is from the great state of Arkansas, where I went to college and fell in love with that state. He's going to be talking about Lake Dardanelle tonight. The BFL Arkie Division tournament is coming up this weekend on Lake Dardanelle. Last year, this same tournament, Chip got a top 10 finish. So we're going to be talking to not only a guy that's got a lot of history in the state of Arkansas, but has done very, very well on Lake Dardanelle. You know, one thing that's really unique about Dardanelle is it's connected with the Arkansas River. It can be very, very stingy, but it can also be a dream place come true for a lot of anglers. So we're going to talk to Chip. He's going to give us all the details of how he likes to fish this time of year. Before we get started, Revital Outdoors is still proud to announce we are accepting entries into our $2,500 prize pack giveaway at the end of the BFL season. That lucky angler will be chosen. To enter into this contest, all you have to do is hit the link at the top of the description right below this video. You will see this banner rotating throughout the video. Again, that just highlights that link right there at the top of the description. Enter in. We've got great companies involved with this fishing giveaway, such as Flambeau Outdoors, Seaguar Line, The Rod Glove, Costa Del Mar, Lou, Strike King, and Tackle Warehouse. So this is not going to be a giveaway that you're going to want to miss. And again, it just takes a few seconds to enter, so make sure you do that. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. That way you get notified when all of our content is dropping. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram. That's Revital Outdoors. And if you've never heard of Revital Outdoors, we are a premium CBD company. We offer premium CBD products to the outdoor enthusiasts. Our products are THC-free, made right here in America. They help you combat all the different ailments from being out in the on the water or in the field. So check them out on our website. You can purchase them directly there. That is revitaloutdoors.com. So that being said, let's go ahead and bring Chip in from the great state of Arkansas. Chip, how you doing this evening, bud?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good, doing good. Chip, just want to say thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come on our podcast. Let's get right into it. So Lake Dardanelle, you've got a lot of great history on the lake. Last year, a top 10 finish for the BFL Arkie Division tournament. You took a step away from the BFLs this year, but nonetheless, your history speaks for itself on Dardanelle. You've accumulated a lot of great success there. So let's just talk about the tournament last year. You know, we're getting into that kind of post-spawn period. The fish are starting to kind of move out deep. The water's warming up. We're getting those dog days of summer, you know, right around the corner. So, you know, how do you attack Dardanelle this time of year?
The first thing I want to look at when I go Dardanelle is the tailwater in the Ozark Dam. That tells me everything, especially after some rains like we've had. The fluctuation of it is, it doesn't affect the people on the lower end near as bad as it does the people that would like to run up the river. And I'm an old river rat. I like to run the rivers, and it's burnt me a lot whenever that water falls out upriver because it fluctuates so much up there. I looked at the forecast earlier, and they're calling for it to be 355 level at the Ozark tailwater pool, which 357 is moderate flooding. So it's going to be high, what they're forecasting. But that dam has missed it so many times. You expect to show up there and have some water, and they've sucked it out, because if they stop it, Dardanelle, the big water, is going to pull all the water out of the backwaters, and you're going to go, and it's going to be dry ground where you've been fishing. So that's always a concern of mine. So when I get there, the first thing I do the morning of the tournament is I look at the level where it was yesterday up on the dock there and where it's at now, and that kind of helps me plan my day. But this week's going to be one of the deals the same way. The water's real high up above, but down on the lower end, it's kind of normal. And those people that stay on the lower end and fish the brush tops and the clear water and the bridges and things like that seem to be more consistent than the river runners, because they could really struggle, or they could have a really good day, and you never know till after you've done run 25 or 30 miles to find out, you know. And Dardanelle's a great time right now. You know, you have the brim starting to get on beds, and if you can find some brim beds and target those, you stand a good chance catching good females. And have a little Shad-Spawn going on in the morning in the grass on the lower end. The bridges, of course, in the backwater areas with the currents, going to be moving a lot of water through the bridges, so there'll be a lot of fish caught there. And it's pretty much, you can do what you like to do. I don't think the shell bed fish out in the river is going to be going yet. I think it's a little too early for that. But you pretty much can do what you want to do. This tournament is going to set up really good for a tournament.
I've been noticing, being from Oklahoma, I went to school there in Arkansas. I've got a lot of friends and family still back from in both states. I've been hearing that there's been a lot of rain in your area this year. It's been one of those just flooding years where you get the 10-year rains, but it just so happens it happens every third year, it seems like. That's going to, just from my knowledge at Dardanelle, that's definitely going to play. There's going to be a lot of guys this weekend, breaking out the big flipping sticks.
Oh, yeah. Especially if they can keep a little bit of water down below on the low end of it, where you have all the grass, the shoreline willows and stuff like that. There'll be a lot of good fish caught out of that grass on frogs flipping and stuff like that. And, it should be Shad-Spawn early in the morning in that grass. It should be really good, covering a lot of water. And, like I say, the bridges are always good when there's current, because you have one flows one way and then wait 30 minutes, it'll be flowing the other way, and it's always produced big fish, especially after a spawn like this.
Absolutely. Another bait this time of year that gets a lot of recognition. It's won a lot of big tournaments on Dardanelle with the past, with the Elite Series being there in 2014 and different tournaments like that, is the swim jig. Do you think that'll still play with the, little dirtier water, a little higher conditions?
Oh, yeah. Swim jig's always a threat at Dardanelle. Those fish at Dardanelle, they live shallow. I've fished Dardanelle all my life, and I don't never fish over 6-7 foot deep. And if I was fishing this, this week, I probably wouldn't fish over 3 foot deep, and I'd be swimming a jigs, chatterbait, frog, covering a lot of water, or power fishing it. I wouldn't. And those fish love a swimming jig. You get such a reaction strike from them, and don't give them time to think about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I got you. Is there going to be something that an angler needs to kind of like really look for on Dardanelle, or is it just going to be you can kind of go wherever and do whatever you want to do? Meaning, do they need to look for a little cleaner water, dirtier water, a little bit more current? You mentioned the current's a big factor on Dardanelle. For an angler that's never been to Dardanelle before, never been there this time of year, what's the first kind of areas they need to start breaking down the lake?
Well, if you're a river fisherman like me, I look for muddy water. I like dingy water. I like muddy water, but there's a lot of people that when they go there, muddy water is their enemy. And you can catch them in both places. Both places are going to have people in the top 10, the dirty water and the clear water. I would just say fish your strength, what you're comfortable with, because there's going to be fish caught in all those areas for sure. This Absolutely. Is one of the places where you pick your strength and you find the area to support it. And that's why I like it so much, because my strength is power fishing, shallow water, and covering a lot of it. And some people may want to fish slow and take 50 yards to flip some grass, all day long, and they do it and they catch fish doing it. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. What kind of weight are we looking at this year? I'm thinking someone's going to break that 20-pound bag, especially with the higher water, dirtier water. So what do you think? My prediction this weekend is probably 23.
No, I don't think it'll be any 20-pound sacks caught.
Really?
What's done happened over the last 5 years or so, we had some real bad floods 3 or 4 years ago, and up the river in the Spadra area that used to, I think, promoted all the good fishing at Dardanelle's, that Spadra area. Back in the day, it was covered with pads, protected, no current in it. The high water has washed the rock dikes out so bad that there's no real protected areas for the fish to spawn in. And ever since that has happened, the weight's been going down. Those areas that used to be great up there, up the river, are just slowly going away. And that was the factory of the fish, I think, area. And it'd be great if we get the Corps of Engineers to come in and build back up some of these rock walls and protect some of this backwater area up there that's getting washed out, because Luckily this year we haven't had a lot of high water for the spawn. We might have had a good spawn this year, without any major floods. So they probably through by the time this last week high water come through. But I think, ever since that's been happening, it's been killing off the backwater lily pads and grass, and it's just really hurt the fishing. And I figure if you can catch 17, 18 pounds, you're going to be really stout. I'd take 17 pounds and not even go.
Okay. So things are changing, but that's just part of it. That happens in all lakes. Down here in Florida right now, we're kind of hoping for another hurricane. And I know that sounds horrible, but everyone's figured out where all the grass is right now. So we need to get it blown around a little bit so people can kind of start over a little bit.
Put some fresh brush tops out in the middle of the lakes. Huh?
Exactly. So, well, Chip, it's really an honor, to talk to you and, break down Dardanelle a little bit. Going through your social media, I know that you've got a lot of great people around the Dardanelle area, the state of Arkansas, a lot of great family that support you. Anybody you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, I'd like to give to my family. I've been fishing tournaments for many years. I won my first tournament in 1979. So, and my family has always been there, supported me. And to do this sport, that's the biggest thing. You have to have a family that understands. They know what you're doing. They know your passion, and they stand behind you and let you do it, basically. And without them, I wouldn't be able to do it. And that's the biggest one.
For sure. Family's always important. So, well, for all the listeners out there, you've been talking to Mr. Chip Hawkins, a local angler in the state of Arkansas who got a top 10 finish last year in the BFL Arkie division on Lake Dardanelle. He's been giving us his recap from last year's tournament, what he predicts for this year. So thank you, Chip, for doing that. Good luck to you in the Toyota Series and all the tournaments you're fishing this year. Before we let everybody go, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. Also, you've been watching that rotating banner. Make sure you enter into our $2,500 sweepstakes giveaway. We cannot wait until we choose an angler at the end of the year to win that great package. So make sure you get your name in because we want to get as many people in there as we possibly can. So from all of us at Revital Outdoors, I'm Theron Asbury. Thank you for tuning into this podcast. Be safe out there, guys. Good luck to all the anglers fishing this coming weekend. God bless. We'll see everyone very, very soon.